Hi, I'm Dr. Michael Harbison of AlignLife Wood River, and I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about our peripheral neuropathy treatment and how we get such great results with our peripheral neuropathy treatment and care. First and foremost, I want to point out to you that if you do have over 85% nerve damage and destruction, we are more than likely not the answer for you. Now, that is not to say, though, that it is not worthwhile to come in and get an actual comprehensive exam, neurological exam, and functional evaluation to determine what we could do for you. There are a lot of times where people thought they were way over the 85% nerve damage, and in all honesty, the majority of their symptoms were coming from just a lack of blood flow and just a lack of stimulus of the nerves, and we get phenomenal results. So just because you may think I can't feel my feet, or my feet always feel like I'm walking on glass or burning or whatever, don't feel that there's no hope. Definitely come in and get your actual exam and let us determine whether or not there's hope. We've seen a lot of these patients and we get a lot of great results. So that being said, let's go ahead and dive into exactly kind of what we do and what you can expect to happen if you are accepted for care. First thing that we do is we use a low-level cold laser therapy. And the low-level cold laser therapy, sorry about that, actually helps to stimulate the ATP production of your cells, or in the mitochondria, which actually increases the efficiency of the cell. So as we age, our cells become less efficient in utilizing ATP. So let's say instead of using 4, which would be perfection, they may use 1 or maybe 2 ATP for energy. The cold laser helps rebuild that cell and actually gets it back to where it's utilizing sometimes 3 out of 4 ATP, sometimes 4 out of 4. It's basically like a performance enhancer for your cells, which that helps the healing process and the rebuilding process. The second thing that we look at is we look at brain function and cerebellum or brainstem function, which that is your balance center and also lets you know where your body's at in space. When we evaluate that, we determine whether or not there are some cerebellum or balance issues that are occurring there. And if that's the case, we develop therapies accordingly to re-stimulate that cerebellum, rebuild that through what they call neuroplasticity, which is the brain's ability to rebuild itself. The third thing that we like to use is we like to utilize the rebuilder. Now, the rebuilder is one of the most revolutionary pieces of machinery that I have ever witnessed as far as peripheral neuropathy or really any kind of nerve damage whatsoever. The rebuilder was developed by the same gentleman who invented the infrared ear thermometer for babies, because he got frustrated watching the old way of doing a temperature on a baby, and if you've ever seen that, it was pretty brutal. And he just got upset watching his children go through that, so he developed the infrared thermometer. Well, later in his years, he developed a peripheral neuropathy where for almost 6 years he could not feel his feet, and money was not an option for him. It didn't matter. So he went to the best doctors in the world, got the best care in the world, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and got no results. So he sat down and he said, you know what? Who's better to fix me than me? So he designed, developed, and treated himself with the rebuilder and got such great results that he patented it and went ahead and took it out to the market. Now, what the rebuilder does, first and foremost, is it has the ability to analyze whether you're a 125-pound female or a 350-pound man. And once it does this, the next thing that it does is it also knows whether or not it's treating your feet for like a lower extremity peripheral neuropathy, your hands for an upper extremity peripheral neuropathy. It knows whether or not it's treating your low back for maybe some sciatic pain. And once it takes that information, it develops a semi kind of treatment protocol, but then after that it sends a test signal into that body part. So with us in peripheral neuropathy, it's a lot with the feet. So it will send that test signal into one foot, it'll go up the foot, into the spine, back down the other foot, and it'll send an echo-like signal into the water. And with that echo-like signal, That rebuilder picks that up, analyzes it, sees how your nerves are functioning, sees how your nerves are actually working in the body, and then will determine how much stimulus and how frequently of the stimulus it needs. And then it'll treat that accordingly. And it continues to analyze this throughout your entire treatment each session. The other thing the rebuilder does is it will stimulate muscle contraction. And this is an anatomical design of how you get blood flow flowing, especially in the lower extremities. The muscles contract and help pump the blood. So you also feel muscle contractions, and what that's doing is that's actually pumping blood all around your lower extremities. So sometimes too, we have patients that come in with severe swelling of their feet and their lower extremity, and with the rebuilder, there have been times where you actually see the swelling and that kind of issue and symptom actually start to decrease because the muscles are getting basically woke up and are able to perform better. With all that combined, we get very good results. How long does it take? That's another famous question we get. It all depends on you and your peripheral neuropathy and how your body responds to it. But what I would like to extend to you is I would like to extend you an offer to come on in, get evaluated, get treated if we accept you as a patient, and get your life back. Get to where you can go play with your grandkids or your kids, or you can walk without the cane, or you can walk without the worries of falling, and you can get out and enjoy life again. Most of the time, our patients with peripheral neuropathy are in their golden years, and we don't want them to be rusty gold. We want them to be golden. We want them to be filled with joy.